What is up, YouTube? T-Roy here. Gonna shoot a video today that's been a long time coming. A lot of you guys probably remember or have seen one of the last videos I did on my Telecaster that I got for a gift from my wife and my mother and father-in-law. It's kind of a Christmas gift and had some issues with it getting here. I did an unboxing video. You guys opened it, or I opened it with you guys, kind of saw what I saw. Kind of wanted to give you a little backstory on it, and I'm going to show you what I have now. I had gotten the guitar in, unboxed it in front of you guys, and when I got it, we pulled it out of the case, and of course I showed it to you, and we saw the guitar, and it looked amazing. I noticed when I had it in my hand, it felt, you know, I didn't know, I knew I was going to have to set the action up. For any of you guys who bought, you know, any guitar, no matter the price range, you know, if you're a player, you like the action a certain way, you know, and I have, you know, been setting guitars up and doing repairs for many years now, and I always set up all my guitars. I mean, and typically I'll get all customers that I set up, typically the one thing, I would say 80% of them always want the action about as low as you can get it without it buzzing. I mean, that's pretty typical. There are slide players and different players like that that don't want it quite as low, but for the most part you want the action, you know, as easy to play as possible. And I was a little, after I cut the camera off and everything else, I took it to my bench and looked it over, played it just a little bit. Could tell I definitely needed to set up, which is a little disappointing in a guitar that comes from the custom shop. Not that I thought it would be perfect, but I thought it'd be better than it was. That was the first little thing that bothered me. But the second thing in this, you'll probably see up here, or here in the pictures up here. I'm going to try to put pictures up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I noticed the pick guard, there was 3 spots where the screws screwed in. You know, screw your pick guard in. They had little chips. You couldn't, right when you first looked at it, because of the color, it kind of blended at first. And of course, opening it, you know, on camera and not really going through it with a fine-tooth comb, it looked pretty good overall. But they were small little chips around the screws. And of course, when you pay at any price, but especially when you pay, you know, higher end or more money rather, you know, you expect more than that. You sure don't expect a chip. I don't care if it's a $200 guitar, if it's a $2,000 guitar, but when you pay that kind of money, you expect pretty much perfection, especially from Fender Custom Shop, right? So there was 3 spots, and I immediately knew what it was, because I've put on and installed so many pickups and so many pick guards over the years. What it is you never ever, if you're you know, you never use a drill or anything to put a pick guard in, because of the tension. You know, the torque will screw it too tight, and you can easily, they're plastic, they can bust very easily. Always, you know, hand tighten. That's the way I've always done. Now, there might be guys out there that do repairs that say, oh, I use mine all the time, but it's definitely, I'm not saying you can't get by with it, just you have to be real careful. Put the torque way down on it if you do, but I prefer to use hand tightening. It's just that way I know I'm not gonna mess somebody's pick guard up, especially if it's not mine. You don't want to break a pick guard. And this particular pick guard that you guys saw had a the paint, you saw the paint job on it, and of course it was painted to the guitar and to the tone of the guitar, the color of the guitar. So it wasn't like I could just go grab a pick guard, or they could just grab, they had one on the wall and they could send it to me. It was painted at the factory, so which bothered me. Sorry, someone's walking in. Actually, we're good. So anyway, sorry about that. So it was painted, you know, to the guitar. So that really bothered me at first, because I thought, man, it's not like I can call these guys and they can just shoot me one. So after looking the guitar over, that was the main aesthetic point, besides the action being, you know, wasn't great. The action I can fix. That was not a big deal, other than it was a little disappointing. It wasn't set up a little better. So I thought, okay, we've got that. Let me look the case over. Well, on the back of the case, on these custom cases, inside the cases where the neck rest is, they actually screw a screw on the back of the case, and they put and it's just a perfect little hole in the case, and they put a little cover on it. It's a little metal cover that sticks on the back. You'll see it on a lot of custom cases. It's not uncommon, I know that. Well, apparently they had it broken off because there was a big hole in the case, and I immediately took pictures of that, took pictures of the pick guard. To make this long story shorter, I sent the guitar, or I sent the pictures to the guy that I bought it from, or to the store that I bought it from. And let's just say, put it this way, I was very disappointed. And they sent back, oh, well, that wasn't there when we sent it to you. It's like I had taken a brand new Custom Shop guitar, and the first thing I did was yank it out of the case and start drilling into the pickguard, pulling the pickguard off. Why would I do that? I mean, why would anyone do that? Even if you bought a guitar and you're like, I'm going to change the pickups out when I get it. But typically when you pay this kind of money, not only are you paying for the Custom Shop, but you're paying for the thing. You want the guitar to be like you want it. You obviously do your homework. Most people would, if they're going to spend, you know, anything over $2,000, I would hope, or even less than that, really. Anything over $1,000, you do your homework. You know what you're getting in the guitar. Most of the time, you're not going to go pulling out pickups and stuff. So that's like 1% of the time that's going to happen. So I pull it out, and I'm a music store. He knew that, and I'm like, dude, I've done this for so long, I'm not going to go. First off, I didn't pull the pickups out. I wouldn't pull the pickguard out. I had no reason to pull the pickguard off the guitar right out of the case. And had I done it, I sure wouldn't have went back with a drill and over tightened the screw to break the pickguard. That was a little insulting, and I texted him back, or sent him a message on Reverb. He gets back to me and again kind of says, well, we'll see what we can do. I'll call the Custom Shop. Well, this took, fast forward, it literally took over a month, and I was very, very, very patient. When I was down in California for that NAMM show, this was still going on to try to get this back. I had just sent it back before I left. So it took a while to get all this resolved. So I hadn't made a video yet. During that time, I had talked to Reverb over and over. I talked to him at the NAMM show as well about the situation, because it was taking a lot longer to get, you know, everything taken care of. I finally I sent the guitar back. I know I said that. I was kind of jumped ahead of myself. I sent the guitar back because I had waited so long, and he kept saying, oh, the Custom Shop's going to get back to me. They still ain't got back. They won't answer. Could be because they're at the NAMM show, and I can give him that. If you've ever been to the NAMM show, I know they're really busy for that time, especially the Custom Shop, making all these guitars to display and to show and for vendors to buy. So I know that's true, but I know there's had to be somebody up there that could at least say, hey, yeah, we can either send you a pickguard or we can match it, because my concern was how are you going to match a Custom Shop paint job? I know the guys are great, but you know, I was a little concerned about that. So that's when I decided, after a month before the show, I said, you know what, I just think I'm going to feel more comfortable sending this back. I'm afraid I'm not going to get the pickguard I want. I'm afraid the case, which he wanted to go buy these covers off of Amazon. He sent me a screenshot and these little hole covers, and he was going to send me one like that. He didn't even have one to do that. At first, he told me he was going to replace the case, so it's back and forth, all kinds of things. Also, if you noticed in the video, in the pocket, when you open up the case, when you open up the little compartment that holds all your goodies, whether it's straps, picks, whatever you put in there, strings, tuners, things like that, in that holder in there, the Custom Shop card was in there, and I was a little disappointed in the video. I didn't say it right off the bat that there's usually a nice little binder folder. It says Fender on it, real nice. Everybody puts one in, and the card was bent pretty badly on the corner, and I thought, that's just odd, but let me, you know, I'll deal with it once the video was shot. I'm gonna be honest, this is the things I thought, even though the guitar was beautiful, and what the reaction I had was very, you know, it was beautiful to look at, and I was excited about it. I didn't do these unboxing videos are just so impromptu, and you just don't get into the real nuances of the whatever you're opening, the guitar in this case, and so I you know, I was a little disappointed when I went over there. So well, I sent the guitar back, and was trying to get a refund during the NAMM show. There was a guitar online that I had originally wanted. This was my second choice that y'all saw. The reason for that was the price difference. The guitar that I originally wanted, I wanted a, they make a AAA flame neck that they actually call burnt. They burn it with a flame also, and it kind of makes it caramelized looking, caramel color. I wanted that neck. This one didn't have it. The one that I originally wanted had it, but the price was a considerable amount more. I'll be honest with you guys, I think if I remember right, we were talking at least $700, $800 range more to get that guitar and everything. So I never pulled the trigger on that. I went with this one because they were both great guitars. So I went ahead while I was at the NAMM show. My wife said, hey, that's a one-off, the 2018 NAMM show guitar. That was a 17, this was an 18. Literally at that 18 show, NAMM show is where they got this guitar. This was a Custom Shop Tele as well. She said, you're getting your refund, you know that, here in a few days. Go ahead and get that guitar. And I'm like, she said that was the one you originally wanted, and I was like, oh no. I said, well, let me check on it first, because I wasn't going to pay $800 more just for a neck. I was just going to wait, trying to look and see if I could find something I wanted. Well, I went ahead and looked, and to my surprise, the guitar had been dropped. I think it was $300, I believe it was, because I think the guitar was actually $500 more than the guitar instead of $800 more. So it was $300 they dropped it. So $500 more than the other guitar, which was better. Obviously, it's still a lot. And so I told her, I said, babe, I said, I don't, I said, this is $500 more. The guitar's already amazing. I said, I can find one if I just be patient. And of course, she says, nope, this is a guitar you're going to have forever. And she said, I want to do it. And I said, okay. And of course, what do you do there? I mean, hey, your wife's giving you the green light if you're a guy and you want a guitar, and she's like okay with it. Hey, I was like, I felt obviously spoiled, and I am, and my wife, I tell you all the time, she's amazing, and she treats me. She's pretty easy in that way, as long as all our bills are paid, and we are. So she was like, go ahead and get it. So I immediately ordered the guitar when I was at the NAMM show. I knew it was going to be in before I got back, so I was like, oh man, that was another thing. I was enjoying the show, and we always stay after the show for 4 or 5 days. We kind of make a vacation. We're already out there. My wife and I like to go to Oceanside, and we hang out there, so that's another story. But we've done that for years and years and years at the show. So the guitar arrived almost a week before I even got back into town. So when I got in town, the guitar was here. And of course, this time I didn't do an unboxing video because I didn't want to go through this again and have to get on camera and explain to you guys why in the world I pimped this guitar so hard. And I was like, oh, this is the greatest. I was so excited about that. And I was about this guitar. The guitar itself was a great guitar. There was just some things that for when you pay that kind of money, you expect more and not maybes when you call back to get things rectified, because I gave them a month. I did not want to send that guitar back. I really, really didn't. So fast forward to when we get back, I opened the guitar up, is where I'm going with this. I opened the guitar up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to open it up, I'm going to play it, I'm going to look it over with a fine-tooth comb before I show it to you guys, because I did not want to go through this again and feel like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here talking about how great this guitar is, and find out later that there's some issues with it. And again, they weren't major issues. A lot of you guys out there are probably saying, oh well man, those are my, but when you spend that kind of money and it's a custom shop, not just paint job on the guitar, but the pickguard's painted along with the guitar. You can't just go grab one at my store or any store around here. You just don't do that. You can't go online and find one. You have to have the custom shop. So that was a problem. The way that, more so than anything, the way they treated me. And because he continued to insinuate that all he knows is when it went out, it wasn't their fault. It was perfect in this, that, and the other. Which it's hard to believe that they could not see these problems on the guitar. I mean, the chips, when you really looked at it, when you stopped and goes, okay, look at the front, and I should have noticed them on camera, but I was kind of flipping the guitar around and showing you guys, and I was just excited about it being there, and in the excitement of the moment, I wasn't as thorough as I normally am. So when I got off camera, that's when I found it. So anyway, talked a lot. I want to show you guys the guitar that I got. It is another Custom Shop, and this is the replacement, if you will, for the other guitar. So I'm gonna stop the camera a second. I'm gonna get the guitar laid down here, and I'm gonna show you guys and let you guys know I have unboxed it. Like I said, it's not an unboxing video, and I'm gonna pull out the folder like the Custom Shop should have, with the nice, Custom Shop certificate of authenticity and all that stuff. And so let's get this done. I'll show you. All right, guys, this is the guitar. Now, of course, this is called Seafoam Green Sparkle. Now, this is very similar in pickup configuration, everything on it, pickups to the other guitar. Obviously, the colors are different. The neck is different. The gold hardware is a little different, and the case. So I'm going to put the camera back down here. Hope this is not bouncing around too much for you guys, and I'm going to show you guys and talk about this guitar. Okay, so this is it. This is a Custom Shop, and I'll give y'all better pictures hopefully on their guitar. This is the Seafoam Green Sparkle. This is the 2018. This was at the NAMM show, and it's really, I don't know how the camera's picking it up, but it is a beautiful, beautiful guitar. Of course, you can see the custom limited edition Custom Shop logo on the back, but this neck is one of the things I wanted so bad, and there's the Custom Shop little stamp on the back of the headstock, and so on and so forth. But yeah, so this is the guitar. Let me pull out some of the goodies out of the case. This right here is what I wanted to. I'm going to scoot this back just a little bit and then talk about this. So this right here is what I'm talking about. You should, all your Custom Shop guitars come with this little, folder, and in it has your certificate of authenticity right here. My other one, if you remember in the video, had this, but it was pulled out of this, laid in the case, which I thought immediately when I opened it was a little odd. I didn't want to cause alarm when I first on the video, and I probably should have said something, but I didn't. But it was also, the corner of it was just, again, the corner of it was bent pretty good on this, and I was like, that's a little frustrating, so I'm gonna have to look into that as well. I know that was another little small thing, but again, when you pay for this kind of money, you don't expect to have to deal with these things. So you should get this if you ever do get one of these. You should have this comes with them. And I've never seen one that hasn't. I may be wrong out there. Some of you guys can write in the description below and say there are Custom Shops that don't come with this, but I've never seen them, and I've seen many and played quite a few of them, but many Custom Shop Fender guitars. I'm talking about Fender now. I don't know, not necessarily of the other brands, but you guys know that I am a Strat Tele, especially Tele, but Strat and Tele are my two faves. The pickups are twisted Tele pickups, for those of you who are familiar with that. They're hot. I love these things. I've taught on it now for 3 weeks, and I absolutely love it, especially my guys who are a little, and girls who are a little more advanced, we're doing some lead work and teaching lead and stuff. I do teach on this as well for that. Now, a lot of times I'll use my acoustic, because a lot of my students have acoustics and they're learning, basic chord knowledge and theory and things like that. So yeah, I've really enjoyed these pickups. This guitar is the one. It's the one that I really. Not that I didn't want that other one. That sounds crazy. It was a great guitar, and I would have loved that. That guitar would have been like this when it came in. I would have it now, and I would had it set up, and I would have played the heck out of it, and would have loved it till probably I died, because I'm not getting rid of it. But little things like that, when you guys are buying guitars, especially when you're spending over $2,000, $2,000 or $3,000, if you ever drop that kind of money on a guitar, and I know that's crazy for a lot of people, you expect a certain level of quality. You should not have to do things. You should be able to pick that guitar up and pretty much plug it in and play it and be amazed by it. I'm not saying you guys might want to tweak it here and there with maybe a little setup, possibly, but not a whole lot of tweaking. It should be almost perfection when you get it. I know as far as the aesthetics, the quality, everything on it should be perfect. And I didn't get that and with that guitar. And and I tried to be very nice about it. I was even when he was kind of insulting me, saying that I did it several times, more than once. If y'all saw, I've been very nice about what I've told you guys on the conversations, the stuff that he said. Even my wife was like, golly, this guy. And he might deal with people like that throughout. There are people that are out to get, they've done it with me on Reverb as well. But he knew I was a music dealer. I spent a lot of money on this guitar, and I just expected more in a quicker response from him. I'm not trying to out these guys. I wouldn't do that. Unless it was needed. I did get my money back finally, and everything's good. I got what I wanted originally. This is number one. That was probably my number two choice. So yeah, this is guitar will be this one and my Strat, and of course my McPherson acoustic that I've had for now 11 years. I love the thing. I played the dickens out of it, still do. I play it on stage. This will be a gigging guitar too when the band gets rolling, and I'm trying to work on that. I'll let you guys know about that soon. I'll quit talking. I wanted to do this though. I've been wanting to do it for a month. I've been extremely busy and haven't been able to do this video. So this is my new baby. This is called Seafoam Green Sparkle. I'm a huge, by the way, I should have said this way back in the video, but if you watch my other videos, you may have heard me say before, but I'm a Seafoam Green. I like Seafoam Green. I always have. Way back in the day when I was a young man, my dad was a big Fender dealer, and this was in the early 90s. I was a Seafoam Green. I've always thought that was just such a cool color. Well, this is sparkle, and I know I was a little concerned about how much sparkle it was, because I thought, oh my gosh, this is too much sparkle. Is it going to be girly? For me, I like it. It's cool, and I think it looks great. I think the sparkle, it's a little gold flake sparkle, adds just enough with this gold hardware, and when you're on stage, it really looks cool. So if you have any questions and I didn't answer them, put them in the box below and I'll get to them. I promise. I'll try to get back to you and tell you if I didn't answer a question that possibly you might have about the guitar or about anything. Custom Shop Seafoam Green, limited deluxe Seafoam Green Sparkle. A lot of words, with the burnt AAA flame maple neck. This neck is just, the neck is as pretty as the guitar as well. It just sets it off, I think. Love it, love it, love it. And you will you won't see a video of me talking about returning this or anything. I've got it set up, I've restrung it, I got it like I want it. You might see me playing it a lot, and if videos in the future of our band playing out, you'll probably see me on stage with it. So yeah, this is my new guitar. That's the story. So hope you guys enjoyed it. And any questions, comments, please, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love for you to hop on board and hopefully future videos. Click the bell, or click the if you want to be notified videos coming out. I'm going to continue to try to put some more videos out. I know I'm horrible about that. The space between videos. My goal is baby steps. 1 video a week minimum if I can. 2 would be great. 3 would be my ultimate goal. But at any rate, I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you will, or if you want to. I'd love to have you. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Questions, again, in the box below. You guys have a great weekend. I'm shooting this on Thursday. It might come out on Friday. It could come out tonight. I'm not sure if I have time to edit it. And y'all, if not, have a great weekend. And remember, guys, play like it's your last day. We'll see you guys later.